Rome conquered Britain, destroyed Carthage, ruled Egypt, and dominated almost the entire Mediterranean. So why couldn't the greatest empire in history defeat just one rival, Persia? For nearly 700 years, Rome and Persia fought some of history's bloodiest wars. Millions died, emperors were captured, entire cities were burned to the ground. Yet despite all its power, Rome never conquered Persia. So what made Persia different? For most of its history, Rome seemed unstoppable. Its disciplined legions crushed one kingdom after another. From Spain to Syria, Rome kept expanding. But far to the east stood another superpower. First, the Parthian Empire, then the mighty Sasanian Empire. Unlike Rome's other enemies, Persia wasn't a collection of divided tribes. It was a rich, organized, and highly militarized empire, and defeating it would prove far harder than anyone imagined. In 53 BC, a wealthy Roman general named Marcus Licinius Crassus believed Persia would be an easy conquest. After all, Rome had defeated almost everyone else. Why should Persia be any different? So Crassus marched nearly 40,000 soldiers deep into enemy territory. But at the Battle of Carrhae, everything went wrong. The Parthians refused to fight Rome's way. Instead of standing face to face, they surrounded the Roman army with fast-moving horse archers. Wave after wave of arrows rained down on the exhausted legionaries. Roman shields couldn't stop them forever. Thousands were killed. Crassus himself was captured and died during negotiations. It was one of Rome's greatest military disasters, but this was only the beginning. There wasn't just one reason. There were several. First, geography. Persia was enormous. Its mountains, deserts, and long supply lines made Roman invasions incredibly difficult. Even if Rome won a battle, then keeping an army supplied hundreds of miles from home became almost impossible. Second, Persian cavalry. Roman legions were designed for close combat, but Persian armies relied on heavily armored cavalry and deadly mounted archers. They attacked, retreated, then attacked again. Roman commanders struggled to adapt. Third, Persia was just as wealthy as Rome. It could raise new armies, build new fortresses, and continue fighting year after year. Unlike Gaul or Egypt, Persia simply refused to collapse. For centuries, Rome and Persia kept invading each other. Sometimes Rome won, sometimes Persia won. Cities changed hands, borders moved, then moved back again. Neither side could achieve a decisive victory. Even famous Roman emperors like Trajan briefly captured the Persian capital, but holding it proved impossible. The Romans always had to withdraw. Every victory came at an enormous cost. In the early 600s, the two exhausted empires fought their greatest war. The Persian king Khosrow II conquered Syria, Egypt, and even captured Jerusalem. It looked like Rome was finished. Then Emperor Heraclius launched a daring counterattack. Against all odds, he defeated Persia, but victory came too late. Both empires were exhausted, their treasuries were empty, their armies shattered, and only a few years later, a new power emerged from Arabia. The early Muslim armies rapidly defeated both exhausted empires. Persia disappeared forever. Rome survived, but lost most of its eastern provinces. So, why did Rome never conquer Persia? Because Persia wasn't just another kingdom. It matched Rome in wealth, matched it in manpower, and often outmatched it in strategy. Its geography favored the defenders. Its cavalry neutralized Rome's greatest strength, and every Roman victory came at such a terrible cost that permanent conquest became impossible. In the end, neither empire truly defeated the other. Instead, after centuries of endless war, they weakened each other so much that both were transformed by the rise of a new power. Sometimes, history isn't decided by the empire that wins, but by the empires that survive long enough to fight one battle too many. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe for more short historical documentaries.